All right, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Here we are. This is episode 99 of how many we're going to do forever. We're going to do 1,000 videos.
Stop, bro.
Is it 99?
No, I didn't know. I don't know what video this is. What is this?
Like
How many
10.
How many podcasts have we did?
No, I'm not just saying. I was just saying number of videos in general.
I don't know. That's a good question. How many videos have we posted on our channel? 236.
No, last time I checked, it was like 270,
Ooh.
260, something like that.
Dang, Brett, what the heck you got up there?
Huh? Well,
Yeah, I gave that 2 more weeks and it's going to fall on that TV.
100%.
Low key, it might happen this week and we might get fined.
We need to take a video of this.
We're getting
So like for you guys at home, you guys can't see this. We're in an Airbnb down here. I'll get Semi Chain.
Let's show it.
Show them what's up. Like
Under, guys. Under 10 days.
10 days. Yeah.
So shout out to all my Airbnb owners out there. We always stay in an Airbnb. Shout out to y'all. There is some good ones and there's some bad ones.
Yep.
This podcast is not about Airbnb. It's about major comebacks. Major comebacks. We're gonna talk about them.
You got off that real quick.
But I'm not reverting off of Airbnb. I'm just titling the video real quick.
What
Now,
about
let me slide back to Airbnb.
Bro, what about VRBO, bro? Like, all right,
I gotta throw out the VRBO. Shout out to VRBO.
So who's
house
better,
owners.
Airbnb or VRBO?
Oh, I can tell you this. I'm gonna throw it a little bit under the bus. Smith Lake. We stayed at an Airbnb.
We did.
Okay.
Yeah.
Quick little story real quick about the Airbnb. We go there. I end up winning the tournament. We leave the night after the tournament was over. Championship day.
Yeah.
We literally like pack our stuff and we roll out. We don't party there. We don't do nothing. We all we do is sleep at Airbnbs. We don't even come in this thing and hang out. Brett's here. But anyway,
Shoot an occasional podcast.
yeah, we shoot a podcast. But anyway, long story short, we leave the property. We did nothing wrong to it. They file a complaint on our Airbnb saying that we ruined the couch. It was ripped up and stained, and we completely trashed the couch. So they did an insurance claim on new couches and gave us a bad review on our couch, like on our stay, like gave us a 0 out of 10 or whatever it is. And I'm like, what? We didn't even mess up the couch.
I remember that.
So long story short, my wife reached out to the lady and was like, hey, we didn't mess up your couch at all. And the lady was like, you don't even have to pay for it. So basically, it was an insurance fraud.
Yeah,
claim.
they were like, you don't have to worry about paying for nothing.
Yeah,
Like,
you gave us a bad review, and then eventually we're not even gonna get a VRBO.
So anyway,
that right there might fall on that TV. Trash it. So,
Well, we have video evidence of this stuff.
I'll see what I can do tomorrow.
but before we go to that,
It's video evidence.
before we go to that, we have to pan the camera to this bone chicken wing on the table over here.
Yeah, can you get my beer over there?
Zoom into that bone chicken wing. Is that your chicken wing?
It is.
Is that your beer?
I did not discriminate.
No, you need to
I
put
eat
that
the
in your
gristle
pocket
and
tomorrow.
all
That's
of
your lucky wishbone for Florida.
God.
Look, I want that beer. That beer's probably got so that full.
You want it?
Yeah.
I'll get it.
All right. All right, that's enough of that. So what are we talking about?
All right, now we're actually going to go back to the...
All right, so let's go back to the video. Major comebacks. All right, so I've had a lot of comebacks in my career. I think we all have. I think anybody that bass fishes has had a comeback, whether it's a last-minute fish, first catch of the morning, like, oh, man, we got the momentum going, or just a points deal or anything. So I think we're going to kick it off with Adrian. Do you have any comebacks yet?
Man, I don't really have much. You know, you guys have all these stories of winning tournaments in the last little bit, making
It's
adjustments.
not even a comeback or a win, though. It's a comeback.
There's
There's several that I've had, like, with
Remembering, like,
there's
remember
one.
you've got like
There's
8
one.
pounds or
There,
something
yeah,
like that.
there's one that. And honestly, man, it was one of them deals. I was in like 150th the first day, and I got the second to last check. And it was on Okeechobee. I'll never forget this, man. I made some really bad decisions on day one, made an adjustment on day two. And I kid you not, my last flip. Now, we all talk about, I caught one on my last cast. Well, dude, when I say my last flip, I yanked my trolling motor up and I got back with 30 minutes or 30 seconds after I was doing it. So technically,
You had half a pound with penalty.
per bass, bass or even Major League Fishing, Bass Pro Tour, whatever, invitationals, if you're doing it 3, you're actually doing it 3 in 59 seconds.
Yeah.
And I literally caught a 7-pounder on I'll never forget this. I was on a Medlock jig, flipping just pencil reeds. Caught a 7-pounder, boxed it, called, and I got back, say, 35 seconds after when I was doing it.
After 35.
After 3. And I
So
literally got
so
back.
not like 3:59.
No, not, so I wasn't late. I was actually
not
on time
late.
by like 15
Oh
seconds.
my God.
And it literally made me $10,000. So that was pretty cool.
That's a good story.
It was, dude. Dude, I was so jacked.
What'd you have day one?
Day one, I had like 3 bass.
Really? So you had 3 days.
I was in like almost last. Yeah, I was in almost last place. And I caught that.
Hey, I got
It was so cool.
I got a really quick one, but a goodie. So Ross Barnett, y'all already know the story.
No.
All right, so Ross Barnett, I'm leading the tournament by 5 pounds going into the championship
Well,
day.
how does it come back then? Hey,
You just gotta wait.
Hey,
You just gotta wait
you
for the
set the
comeback.
subject, bro.
You gotta wait for the comeback.
Hey,
Here we
man,
go.
you're leading
by
her
5 pounds. I
You're
didn't know it was that
this is
much.
the
It was 4
exact-
pounds, 12 ounces. It was
Hey,
almost
Dustin,
5
That's a lot.
Hey,
That's a
Dustin,
lot.
Hey, listen. This is the exact opposite of a comeback. This is a choke job.
No, there's a good comeback story. All right, so anyway, it flooded the day. It was going to be thunderstorming that Sunday. So we had championship Monday.
Yeah.
And the river came up like 2 foot. It was a typical tournament. So I'll go out and I'm fishing. I'm like, all right, I got to go up the river. I got to go. So I run up there. And you talking about the most mentally challenging day. My bites, I was getting like 10, 12 bites a day. I legitimately had 6 bites all day long doing that. 6 bites.
And this was pre you winning everything. So this is honestly
yeah.
one of the biggest
This is
days
the
of your
first
This
life.
was one of the biggest days of my life.
Yeah.
Like I freaking was emotional that morning, blasting
Yeah.
off. I knew that I was on the winning deal, but I was sketched out.
Yeah.
So I run in this little pocket, and like my first bite was a 3-pounder. Okay. And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I need 4 more keepers, and we might have a chance. So I fish hard. I've got 3 fish, 3 at lunch. The tournament is like in anybody's hands. I do not have the tournament one. At lunch, I have to run back in really big waves because it was really windy that day. North wind was blowing really hard. I had to run back. So it's 12 o'clock. I got to go back. I think we were due in at 2:30 on championship days. Am I right? I got to leave at like 1:30. I need an hour to get back. I have an hour and a half left to make it happen. I need 2 more fish. I flipped behind the mat. I don't know if you guys have seen the video or not. It was pretty epic. But I flipped behind this mat, and there's a log back there. Okay. Normally in these mats, they're like at the tip of them.
Yeah.
Something told me, I was like, hey, I'm going to flip back there.
Behind
I flipped
it.
back there and just super glued. And I was like, is that a bite? I set the hook, biggin'. Well, I hooked the fish right inside the corner of the mouth, and the hook was exposed. When I was pulling the fish over the log, it hung up. Got hung on the log. The fish is sitting there just flopping. 5.5 pounder sitting there flopping. I was like, oh my God. So I run in there in the grass mat, about broke my trolling motor. I leaned down, and the whole time I was leaning down, I was like, if I fall out of the boat, then I'm going to be disqualified, or this fish will not count. So the whole time I was doing that, I was like, please don't fall out. But I had to get that fish. So I was reaching out as far as I could, and I grabbed the fish's mouth, and I pulled it out of the log, and I got that fish in. I'm like, oh my God.
Is that the one where you're like, we ain't quitting?
Yes, I caught that fish.
One.
But that fish was super important. But right after that, I ran to the next mat, and I caught a keeper, like 1.5 pounds. Well, I won the tournament by 2 pounds, but that one fish is the only reason that I'm here. Because I would have went broke. Oh, I didn't have no money.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
I would have
you were-
1,000% went broke and not
So that
even
was
been
a
here.
comeback story of your life.
That was a comeback
Not
story
a
of my
comeback
life.
story in the individual tournament.
I also have another.
That was really a
I have
story.
another
Yeah.
one here in a little bit, but let's get Jacob
This don't
one.
even have to be necessarily coming. That's more of a like you got it when you needed it.
Mm-hmm.
That was like,
when
maybe
you
that
needed
was,
it to happen.
yeah, that was like a key moment in your life that something transpired that this gave you that opportunity.
That was a comeback of my career.
Well, yeah, correctly. It 100% was. It was like the one moment that jump started your career to get you.
That's it.
To where you're
That
at
was
now.
my one more break.
Yeah, I mean, well, Alabama River was probably your first one.
Oh, we don't want to talk about that one. Well, actually, let's say it real quick. I go out championship day. I have a 2.5 pound lead over Russ Lane. Good buddy of mine. Russell Lane was in second. So I go out
Big
that
pop.
morning. Actually, I don't go out that morning. they check my insurance, and I don't know why Bass does this, and MLF also the same thing. They want to check your fishing license and tag and your daggum, all the stuff in your boat and your insurance minutes before takeoff.
10 minutes.
And you're sketching.
Well, I had my insurance in my deal.
Yeah.
He said, show me your insurance. I said, okay. Showed him my insurance. He said, that ain't gonna work. He said, I have to see the amount, like $100,000 or whatever, 300,000. It's 300,000
policy.
I have to see your policy, and I have to see the dates. All I had was the dates of me being insured. It did not have the number on there. And I'm like, dude, this is my insurance policy right here. This is the one that they got me.
Yeah.
He's like, I have to see the number. You got to get it. Dude, it's freaking like 6 o'clock in the morning. I can't call Boaters Insurance Agency right now. They're not open. They're on California time. It's freaking 4 o'clock there.
Yeah.
So I call
You're not wrong,
I call my mom. My mom's at the house. She's like, hey, she's not even awake. I said, find my insurance statement now.
Just anything, yeah.
I don't care what you got to do.
Yeah.
Find it.
Yeah.
Dude, she looked for 35, 40 minutes. I'm just sitting there. I'm calling her every 15 minutes. You ain't found nothing. You ain't found nothing. Psst, nothing. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not even going to get to fish today. She calls me 45 minutes later. Everybody done taken off. Everybody's gone for 45 minutes.
Holy.
The first hour is gone. She calls me and said, she sent me a picture of it on my phone. I'm like, here, Chris Bowes, here. He said, all right, you're good to go. I was like, anyway. So I get to leave. So when I was taking off, I'm like, dude, I don't have time to run 40 minutes down this river. And I knew it was getting blowed out anyway from it flooding again. So I run up to Montgomery, right in front of the amphitheater. I pull up, nobody's there. I roll up, they're freaking blowing up on the shoal right there. And I was like, okay. I catch a 4-pounder. I catch 18 and a half pounds right there. And the tournament was over. But everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Maybe, just by happen chance, it was meant to happen that way because I had intended on taking a right.
You would have rolled out.
I would have rolled down and it would have been a totally different.
You caught 3 bass.
Yes, so I took a left because I was running low on time.
You only had so much time.
I needed to make use of what I said. Let me run up here and try this, and if it don't work, we'll just roll from there. Rolled up, won the tournament.
Dang.
Yeah.
Let's hear yours, Jacob. You got a bunch.
Tons
of them.
I got a few.
Well, let's hear a couple of them.
So probably the biggest comeback. It's the biggest comeback. Definitely was my second year in the Forestwood Cup. Frogging. So what transpired there is 2012. I won the Forestwood Cup. I'm 21 years old. 22. I'm competing in my second Forestwood Cup on the Red River, and I go out there day one. I'm super green. Like I don't even like listen. I get a few things from Indiana fishing. I understand some stuff, and I'm a good. I feel like I'm a good fisherman. I'm making good decisions, but I don't understand all the nuances of tournament bass fishing around the country. That's just the facts. Mm-hmm. At 22, I'm just super green. So I go out there, and I go to all these groups of fish that I found in the pads, and throw a frog on them, and daylight, and don't get a bite. And that morning, it was a cool snap.
Typical daylight.
Mm-hmm. It was a cool snap. I run all this stuff for 3 hours. Right? Things are not happening. And I'm like, gosh, they're just gone. I'm not going to do this. Da, da, da. Well, it was like one of those summertime school snaps. They just shut off, right? I go out to the main river. I catch me 7.5 pounds. I'm basically like second to last at this point in time. I come back in. I'm like 7.5 pounds, second to last in the tournament. And I'm so freaking mad. Next morning, I'm like, forget it. I ain't starting out. I'm starting on the river. And then I'm going to rotate back and do all my stuff later. Because it's another cool morning. I'm just like, I'm picking up, like, it's a cool morning. I'm not doing that. So I catch me, like, a few good ones on the river. And then all of a sudden, like, I go back to my pads. And, dude, they're touge, eating your frog. Touge, another big one, eats the frog. And I come in and I have a big bag. And I come up and I move up.
You had like 18, right?
I think I had like 17 pounds.
Yeah.
So then I move up to top 20 move on. to the day 3. So I ended up like 17th place. So I went from like 49th to 17th. Next day I catch another big bag on day 3. And I move up from 17th to like 5th.
Was it a 4-day tournament?
4-day tournament.
Okay.
Moved to 5th. All of a sudden, last day of the tournament, like it's warm, super warm, first thing in the morning, and I go straight to the pads. I'm frogging. I catch a big one. I catch another big one. I catch another big one. And I mean, big one, I'm talking like 2.5 pounders. Like, this is Red River. This ain't no like, we ain't talking about like Topa Elijah. We talk about
we talking
about the Red River, baby. You know, we talk about like river fishing. And all of a sudden, I have all these cameras on me. Like I'm leading 100%. At this point in time, there's boats on me. There's spectator boats. They know like it's going down, right? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh gosh, like holy crap! So I catch another 14-something pounds. I come in and in the last hour and a half, Randall Tharp ends up winning the tournament. He catches a couple of very big ones, and he ends up winning the tournament. But I ended up coming back all the way second. So second place from almost dead last, starting the tournament, to second place. That was probably the biggest change in tournament standings that I would say that probably for my career.
I remember Tharpy catching them too.
I know you roll
in that one little shoot.
I mean, like that. It was the crappiest stuff them bass would get on. It was crazy.
Yeah,
it was insane.
Hindsight, if you'd have caught one more 3-pound bass, you would have won the event, wouldn't you?
On day 1, because you had probably a 1 something.
Yeah, I'd have won. If I'd have caught a 3.5 pounder on day 1, I think I had 7 pounds. I think I lost the tournament by 3 pounds or something like that. But yeah. I mean, hindsight's 2020, but like all you can do at that point in time is like turn a negative into a positive.
Make the best of the
and so that's what
situation.
like the comeback story is such like a rejuvenating moment. Like things like when you're down, you're not always down. Like you can always come back from those moments, and that's just in life in general. Like things come around the corner, man. You tire pops, or you have flat tire. This is like an overall comeback stories in general. It's just more so a positive vibe, and like, look, like no matter what you're dealing with, no matter what's going on in your life, like it's gonna come around.
100%.
That's what it is.
And that's one thing. One thing I learned from Jacob is my man has a bad tournament, he's winning the next tournament. Like you take bad situations and you light a fire, and dude, it's just like it's pretty impressive. I've seen it for a while now.
I'm gonna tell you something. You have to in any kind of thing in life. Like I'm just telling you.
It's easier said than done.
No, I'm gonna tell you straight up. I'm a sore loser.
Oh, the sorest.
I hate it.
We all know.
I absolutely hate it.
We all low key.
I hate
low
losing.
key.
Yeah.
See, you don't know this, but low key, we all look forward to your rants when you have a bad tournament. Now, unfortunately, he hasn't had any bad tournaments, so we haven't had any of these good rants.
But here's the thing.
But they are pretty impressive.
You show me somebody that's okay with losing, I'll show you a loser.
Yeah,
that's just it, son. I'm just you cannot be happy with losing. Now you have to understand you're going to lose more than what you're going to win. That's just part of it. But I've learned more and more as my fishing career has developed that to take the lumps, you have to take them to make the highs really matter. Mm-hmm. So like I've gotten a lot better. I've gotten a lot better. Like if I don't catch them, it's just part of it. But on to the next subject. Don't want to bore you. The margin of error in what we do, one bite.
It's a very fine line.
One bite in practice, one bite during the tournament. Mm-hmm. If you have one bass that bites in practice, it may clue you into one little deal, and you run with it, and you win the tournament. You need that one clue, one bite. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree.
And even in a tournament, we ain't talked about fish that we lost.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got stories where one fish comes off and you would have won, or one fish comes. Everybody's got them stories. Y'all comment below if you have a lost fish.
Yeah. A lost fish story? Shoot, man.
Yeah. I mean, personally, me, I grew up fishing a lot of tidal stuff.
Yeah.
And dude, and there's that saying all the time, you can fish through the best area on the wrong part of the tide and you'll never know a bass exists. So like for me, there's a huge margin there. Mm-hmm. Or I guess it would be a thin margin.
Thin margin.
Thin margin, just there's very
thin margin.
room for error.
That's what sucks about tidal fisheries though. in general, like it is. It's like I think that's something that's so interesting. It's like if you do not understand it and understand like how those bass operate in certain fisheries too, it's different,
changes.
Completely different in different fisheries.
Changes on cover.
It's cover, grass, fishery, hard cover, all this stuff, and that's what's interesting about it. But like those margins like make up like. Well, I mean that's huge.
I don't want to mention this because Jacob may get a little down and out. He may go in his room and cry some. I don't know.
I was already going to do that anyway.
So Jacob last year, what did you finish in AOY?
Second.
Okay, how many points did you lose by?
It was less than 5, wasn't it?
Yeah, 4 or 5, something like that.
Okay. Let's say you're at Murray. Murray was a disaster for Jacob. It's the worst term of his whole career. Truly to this day, I don't think anybody knows what happened.
I think you spun everybody out.
I didn't mean to do
It was
that.
your fault.
It was your fault, bro.
DC.
I did not know they were going to bite that good.
Unbelievable.
I had no clue. I'd get a bite here, get a bite there. You were with me, wasn't you? It wasn't on fire like that.
Practice sucked.
Yes. I had a few bites, like throwing a soft jerk bait, but I was like, hey, let me go do this, and then I'll run to some bedfish and then make the day count.
Yeah.
Well, I never got no stinking bedfish. They were just biting.
Legitimately in practice, he went through. That's where the running joke that I said. He was like, "Dude, they're on bed everywhere," and I was bored, and I said, "I need a bed."
Yeah. I said, dude, they're on bed everywhere. He's like, I'd like a bed. So, anyway, going back to what I was saying is if Jacob would have had one topwater bite or one bedfish that actually committed and you catch a 3-pounder.
Yeah, that tournament would have been 3-pounder.
You needed one 3-pounder. It'd have cold a pound and a half. You'd have moved 6 places.
Yep.
7 places, maybe 10. You win AOY. You're a 3-time AOY champ.
Yep.
You're the man. But then everybody wants to ask you after the tournament, man, what happened? Just didn't fall in my hands.
It's a very interesting thing though. Like in those events, you have to. It's tough because you always are like I never turned the corner like where I wasn't going to make the cut. Mm-hmm. So like if you're going to make the cut, you have to continue to push and continue to search and continue to look. Like it's very difficult for me to be like, I'm going to play small ball and just salvage as many points as I can and not make this cut. Like I can't fathom thinking that way. Mm-hmm. That's not even in my
never
vocabulary.
been a process for
That's
you.
not how I operate. So the problem in that scenario, now, if I would have, hindsight being 2020, said, all right, I'm going to take my time. I'm going to catch me 15 pounds. I'm going to salvage this tournament, put myself in a good position, and I'm call it good. Yes, I would have.
But that ain't you.
But that's not. The thing that you don't understand is because I sucked so bad and I got my ass kicked so bad, I was so mad for 2 weeks. I went out to Chickamauga and I got ready for the next tournament. And I won that tournament by freaking a lot.
You won Gunnersville.
Yeah, I won. So that stemmed a run for me where I went first, I think third. I mean, like top 10 Dow. Like basically the rest of the season.
And that's when the whole
And so
fishing
that's-
industry changed because Shake It a Minnow became
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit
big damn
different.
deal, son.
But you know what I'm saying? Those are things like you don't know what you have in you until you're pushed in a bad position of like, dang, things did not go right this week, or things didn't go right today.
Yeah.
Or things haven't gone right for the last 3 tournaments. Or things aren't going right in life. That is like the moment, like you just. I actually relish those moments. Those are really key moments in life that people don't. Adversity, B-Lat says this. I'm shouting out B-Lat. Adversity is dope. I truly believe that, like, when you deal with issues in life, it makes the story better. Mm-hmm. It makes the story
Makes you
of what
appreciate
you're.
it more for sure.
There's
You do.
a certain
when
like
things just go perfect. I'll
all
be
the
honest
time,
with you.
it ain't fun.
It's not. It's not. I'm not gonna say it's not fun, but you just don't appreciate it as much as you do when you go and you grind and things aren't going right, and you come out of the slump and you win or you make a top 10. It's a special moment.
It's not real. Like being at the top all the time is not like if you win 3 tournaments. Like I won 3 tournaments in a year. When I left Mille Lacs, and I'm gonna get a little deep right here.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. And I talked to Skeet about this.
Yeah.
We were at Red Crest. Brett, you know what I'm about to say. So I was at Redcrest, and Skeet, shout out Skeet, got a lot of respect for Skeet.
Yeah.
He came up to me at Redcrest, and he's like, dude, congratulations. What you guys are doing is phenomenal. He said, soak it in. Soak it in, because it won't last forever. And I said,
Yeah.
I agree. And then I told him, he said that, and I said, can I be honest with you? I said, Skeet, I said, I know it's not going to last forever, and that's the most scary thing ever. That's the most terrifying thing to me. When's the drop? When's it going to drop? What's going to happen? Because when things are so good in life, you're sitting there waiting, like, when's the rug going to get pulled out? Because we've always had the rug pulled out on us in anything in life. I think anybody can say that. But I told Skeet that, I'm like, dude, I literally have like anxiety about it really, really bad. When's the rug going to get pulled out? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you have to take the good, and then you got to take the bad, and you stay middle ground. Be very bittersweet when you lose, and then when you win, say, thank you, Lord. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I get in this thing, like, put yourself, this is another thing people don't understand. It's like, where do you get your motivation from to work hard? Where do you get your motivation to push through the bad times, the bad practice days, and things aren't going right? That's a big thing.
I think the number one thing in life in general is just surround yourself with people that are better than you too.
Yeah,
You know,
that
and
push
that
you to
push
be better.
you. Yes.
That's more the thing than anything. It's pushing you. Mm-hmm. It's like there's things that, like, every person that I'm friends with, like, I'm like, dang, I could work on myself on that. Like, I should be better on that. And that might be a better father. That might be even better, a better son. That might be a better fisherman. Might be a better skipper. There might be, like, there's so many things about that.
I will tell you something else that I've learned to be better about is when you do lose, dude, it's hard not to show it. When we show up at these weigh-ins, or we don't have a weigh-in, but we have a presentation, or we'll walk across stage. Dude, I'm going to be honest with you. It is so hard to put on a smile and a happy face when you have a tough day and there's people around you wanting to take photos and they just want to visit. You know, they came there for you to visit.
And most of the people don't know you had a bad day.
They don't really know. And then I come in, I'm like, dude, I had
off the day of fishing, but you fishing?
I had a horrid day on the water. Like, I broke a rod. I did this. I lost 2 or 3 big fish. I'm just aggravated. I'm flustered. Like, Mark posted a video, mental breakdown, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's reality of what we do, you know. I mean, like, at the end of the day, dude, we're fishing to make a living. Like, it's cutthroat out here. It is. And
us fishing on the water in tournaments is our job.
That's it.
Like, so when we have a bad day on the water, I and most people don't understand that, is like, is a fan comes up and they're like, hey, yo, like, what's up, man? Like, when you have a bad day on the water, it's like having a bad day at work. Mm-hmm. Now, me going out on the water at the house and going fishing, that's not going to be a bad day on the water.
Yes.
Because it does not matter. That's my enjoyment. And same thing for a lot of us. Like, whether you're out in the salt, or whether you're out there on lay, or you're on Jordan and you're hanging out, like, it's different. But when it's work is work, and that scenario is like, that sometimes is a tough time. It is a tough time to swallow your pride.
You know the old saying where it's like a bad day fishing is better than a good day no.
Oh, we get it all the time.
A bad day at work, or whatever you want to call
it. A bad day of fishing is better than a good day at work. But
that's debatable.
For us, it's not. That does not work for us. That is probably the number one quoted thing from people.
I get all the time. Gas station, that's your number one thing.
Yeah. Hey,
man, I wish I was you.
Bad day fish is better than a good day work. I said, but
we don't get paid. But here's the thing, though. A lot of people don't realize. You say that. They say that saying, right? Yeah. Well, guess what? They didn't have $7,000 tied into a week.
No.
And away from their family. And you're out there like, oh, my gosh. So there's a lot of pressures. You got pressure to perform for you, which does not mean a lot, but pressures to perform for your family.
Yeah.
Sponsor pressure.
Yeah.
You want to support your fans. You have people that are behind you. You want to do good for them, too. And when you have a crappy day, dude, it sucks. It just does.
So what's your biggest motivation? I want to hear you guys' biggest motivation. Like, you feel like now, like at this point in time, being out here on the road, fishing, competing, what is the biggest thing that motivates you to continue to push?
I already know.
Let me do this first.
Go ahead.
Straight up, not to sound corny, but it's you guys, both you guys, because I see and follow. Like, dude, I'm a hardcore fan of bass fishing. Like, dude, I don't care what organization. I don't care if it's NPFL, if it's over there at Bass, if it's, our league here, Major League Fishing. I love watching bass fishing. And really growing up, like I've watched a lot of household names not win tournaments.
Yeah.
And these are phenomenal fishermen. I mean, these are guys that, I mean, we all looked up to growing up. And to watch what you two guys are doing right now is honestly incredible. And anybody that's going to try to take anything away from that,
Oh, there's a lot that try,
and there are.
Lord.
But I mean, it's just the truth that, you know, you get this all the time too in bass fishing. Oh man, you know, bass fishing's all lucky. You know, you just go out there, you cast your deal out there, and you just wait. These guys out here, you guys are out hustling everybody. You know,
Shoot, we try,
and that's
you do
that's,
too. You
that's,
work your
I do,
ass off. You've been gone a month.
I work
You've
my
been gone
butt
a
off.
month.
I know. I work my butt off, but you know, it's just it's hard. It's hard to win tournaments, and you guys you guys just put yourself in positions, you know, day in day out, and that's honestly really impressive. And you know, it motivates a lot of people, so including myself.
I'll say
Kudos.
this.
Thanks, bro.
I think I speak for all of us, our families for sure, all three of us. So like things changed for me when my son Trent was born, which is terrible because he's 6 weeks old. I've only been there for like 3 weeks of it because I've been fishing. So I'm like, dang, I hardly even know the little dude. You know what I mean? And I do. I cannot wait to get home. We're at Heavy Hitters, by the way, right now. Yep. So, but like things kind of changed for me because now I'm not only fishing for me and my wife, I'm fishing for him. And like I feel like I'm a little extra motivated, so now I'll just get a little extra pissed when I don't catch them.
and dude, straight up, like, and I know Jacob can speak for this too. And it only gets harder.
Dude,
well, you said that.
It's
so
not.
freaking
You
bad.
don't even know.
Y'all said that.
Yeah.
Dude,
So like
tonight. You go ahead.
No, just like my daughter now. She's to the point now where my wife. So I fished an invitation last week at Eufaula, and I posted something on my Instagram, and my wife videotaped it, and she's over there like watching the weigh-in screen or whatever, and she's like, "Oh, Daddy, I miss you, Daddy. Where are you at, Daddy?"
Now it's really showing out, and I saw that in practice. You know, I really thought, you know,
Miss my daddy.
You miss your daddy?
Yeah.
Well, watch him.
clearly
Go watch him.
guys that had those opportunities and executed.
2 years old, bro.
Heartbreak.
I haven't seen her in a month.
Sucks.
Oh, it does. It's terrible. So yeah, your kids and your family, they definitely motivate the heck out of you because the end of the day, man, we're like my wife. She's a stay-home mom. You know, she busts her butt around the house. She does. You know, she kind of manages the stuff that we have. You know, so she's got a lot of work on her plate. But you know, we're the provider.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, if you don't catch them and if you're not on a hot streak and you're not doing your job, whether it be, you know, pump the videos out or doing well in tournaments, you know, you got to step it up a little bit.
And guess what? When you get home, you got to turn on dad mode.
100%.
It don't matter how mad you are when the tournament's over with.
Sometimes during the tournament, you got to.
Yeah.
You got to wear dang Mickey ears.
Oh, that's me.
You did that too.
Hey, I seen you and Olivia on them rides. Oh, she was loving it.
Oh man, that's the thing. I mean, I think motivation is everything. I think family definitely. I think we all motivate each other. I think, you know, it's back to Adrian even on talking like motivation. Like I see how hard Adrian works on and off the water. Works on everything he does, whether it's investments, whether he's working on tournaments, whether he's working on saltwater. That's motivated me. Like I think that everybody takes and looks at that. Like we push each other.
Yeah.
And so that doesn't have to be one thing.
Yeah. You got to work straight up, man, and it's good for anything. You gotta bust your ass. You know, and if you don't work hard, you've got no reason to sit there and whine and complain while you don't have something. You know, so you just gotta get ahead and do that. And I appreciate it, man. It's always a race leaving the house.
I was just gonna say, this has always been my theory, right? So I've developed this little theory in college.
Let's point the camera at you, bro.
Obviously.
Stay in front of that damn camera.
Obviously, iron sharpens.
Come on.
No, obviously, iron sharpens iron, right? We've always said that. But I've always tried to surround myself with people that are smarter than me.
Yeah.
When I become the smartest one in my group, I try to find a new group.
I agree with that.
Because I've got to have something to shoot for. If I'm the smartest one, I'm going to get complacent. You never want to be the smartest, the best in your group. You got to find a new group. And obviously you keep your friends, but
so when are you going to ditch us, bro?
Dude, I've been trying for like the last 4 years. Y'all are some dumb folks.
Hey, Sizzle's on that bag. Sizzle's on that bag. Hey, you boys better stop hitting that subscribe button.
Yeah, he's gone after that. Well, basically, to sum up what I was saying is like, I look up to you guys because Y'all work hard, and I don't want to discount hard work. It don't matter if you're at the top of the game. That dude right there is #1 angler in the world for a reason. For 5 years running, you freaking work your butt off all the time.
Hey, don't let him fall to second.
Oh,
He might win like 5 turns.
here's my goal in life: just knock him to second, and then see the rampage out on him.
See, I don't
That's
know.
what I want to happen. I need a rampage. I need him to win like 6 in a year.
No, I ain't trying. I'll tell you one thing we need to talk about motivation on that. I'm not just going to say the last things I didn't really say. The other thing that motivates me is fans.
Yes.
So, like, to me, that is straight up no joke. Like, I got, like, my family absolutely does. You guys push me, but fans motivate me so much, and it's actually more so that people put me for whatever, over the last 5 years, they're like, oh, well, you're gonna make a top 10, and it's like, I don't see it that way.
No,
I don't see it like I'm gonna make a top 10 every turn. I don't see it like I'm gonna get a check every turn. I don't see it that way. And so when you're the fans push you because they expect and they support you as well, but they also, their expectations of you because of what you're doing, they see that, like, if you don't do something, if you don't win a tournament next year, DC, the fans will let you know.
So are you talking about the positive fans or the hater fans?
No, I think listen, it's not haters. It's not hating fans. It's just what you have taught them over the years and them following you. The expectation is real. It's not, they're not being haters.
they're truly rooting for you.
They're truly rooting for you,
Yes.
but that's all they know since they've been following you. So how are they bad or negative? Because that's what they know.
Well, I just
So
love.
sometimes you take it a certain way.
I just love. So we kind of hopped around a little bit.
Oh, we did?
We
Sorry,
went. No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our league. So
yeah, for sure.
So we went from every fish counts, and then we went to 5.
Yep.
And I remember just watching Serge because, like I said, dude, I'm a fan, right? So like I remember, watching stuff and reading stuff about, oh yeah, Jacob can win in this every fish counts format, but he can't win in 5, blah blah blah. And then what do? We go back to 5 and he wins the tournament. So like, that's what I was talking about, because there are some negativity out there that kind of fire you up a little bit. And you get ahead and you read that and you're like, man, I'm going to prove that person wrong.
Yeah, we didn't even mention that. The motivation, the haters.
Haters do
Yeah, y'all are like 10th on my list, but y'all are on the list. Y'all on that damn list, and you know who you are.
There's no doubt early on my career, even from, and there's a lot of guys on the rookie side of things from the bass side of things that are dealing with this now,
which is a shame.
Which is really bad. There's some people in this sport, the old guard, and I'm not naming any names, but there's some individuals.
Man.
No, I ain't getting there. But there's some individuals and it happens in every sport.
Yeah.
That they want to they work crawdads in a bucket. They want to tear somebody down rather than build them up and let them sort of succeed and do their thing.
Talk about crawdads in a bucket for a minute.
So you put crawdads in a bucket.
Okay.
And I don't know. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
No, tell us.
So when you put crawdads in a bucket, one crawdad try to crawl out, the other ones will grab and pull them down.
100%.
And that
Is that a thing?
legitimately.
That's what happened.
Is that just
That's what happened.
That's an analogy.
They don't want the other one to get out.
Dude, all I can tell you right now, because I know some of you guys are watching right now, you rookies over there, elites, keep working your ass off.
Yeah, 100%. Don't take. This is the thing that I will tell you. Negativity. Use the negativity to motivate you.
100%.
Push yourself to work harder.
Always.
And there's a gear in bass fishing in every sport and every walk of life that none of us know that we have. That's like you're hit it. You ain't hit. You will hit it. There's gear. Now you've hit it in other walks of life, no doubt. Oh, you already free. But there's gears
that you
don't even know that you have.
Yes.
Like
there's thinking processes that you never knew you could untap.
Gear,
like that gear is like
Hey, shift it one time for me.
Yeah, 100%.
It's like you hit that dang freaking thing. What's that dang? Mario Kart, like the star freaking roll up in there. Freaking roll up there.
Hey, I had a really good analogy. We're gonna close on this analogy real quick. Brett, you remember that analogy that I talked about climbing?
You have a lot of.
Climbing the tree. You remember climbing the tree analogy?
You're gonna have to hit me on it.
Okay, here we go. Think about this. This is a good analogy. All right, you see a tree. Okay, a lot of the limbs at the bottom of the tree are big. Okay, let's say you're climbing the tree. All right. Imagine this in life. Okay. That first branch that you reach to is a big branch. It's typically the easiest one.
Yeah.
You get up there, it's stable. You can get up there. Okay. But the farther you get up that tree, the smaller the limbs are, the more kind of dangerous, the more risky it gets. And once you get to the top, there ain't a lot of stability and it's easy to fall all the way down. So like when you're climbing up the tree, the first step's the easiest one.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's easy. Okay, we won a tournament or whatever. But you start climbing all the way up there and it is super hard to stay at that top because it's swaying and there's a lot of things, there's a lot of pressure on you to hold on tight to where you're at on top of that tree. You could fall down at any minute, but a lot of people's too scared to climb that high.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
100%.
Because you might fall. So that's a great analogy right there.
Yeah,
So
I like
the goal for this video is to go climb that tree. If you fall down, I'll laugh at your ass, and then you get back up and climb again.
That is
literally.
that is the positive thing. Like, look, man, like there's enough negativity in this world.
Yes.
This is the thing. We've all been successful in life. We're living our dreams right now. And you guys are seeing this.
Yeah.
And it's like, man, just go out there, live your dream, no matter what it is. Don't let everybody tell it. Take a negative tomorrow or the next day or this week, turn into a positive.
100%. Climb that tree all the way to the top. Keep pushing, keep hammering. Appreciate y'all tuning in. We kind of bounced around on some subjects. Brett, you want to chime in? Come on.
Hit the subscribe button so I can get out of here at 100,000.
Yeah, he's just
so
like,
you can
please
dip out.
help.
Sounds good.
Now.
All right, y'all.
Thank you.
Appreciate you tuning in. Y'all follow my boys. Oh, yeah. By the way, Mark is not here right now. Everybody's going to comment below and be like, where's MDJ at? Mark
quit.
did not qualify for this tournament from last season. He just fell a little bit short, but he will be at the next one for sure, and he's going to climb the tree, and we're all going to climb it with him. And
try to roll one in.
Try to roll one in. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Y'all like, subscribe. Peace.
See y'all.